to episode 9. We are getting so close to the double digits, which is really crazy to think about. So today, y'all voted for this episode, kind of off the rails, kind of, but it came to mind because of my current life in this topic. So it is on drumroll, Motherhood Transition Workout Edition. So we'll be talking about that. First, we're going to start off with something you're grateful for. I believe that this past week, I'm just grateful for health. I was sick on Thursday, really, really bad. I had chills all night long, and it went away the next day. It didn't last more than 48 hours. It was just a crazy virus, illness. I don't even know what to call it. I just drank a medicine ball, rested, and that was it. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also very grateful for another year of life for my husband. He turned 24. So I'm very thankful we got to celebrate him this past weekend. And yeah, it was just very enjoyable. I'll give you a few moments to think about yours. And here we go. So when I think about motherhood and working out, it's been a tricky transition into that. So we're going to start back to where it looked like for me specifically before being pregnant and becoming a mom. I believe it was a little inconsistent because work was in the picture, college, and you would think it's a little easier, but when you start figuring out what is priority in your life, that starts kind of mounting and competing with one another. So the gym was a every other day for me. I loved it when I first started way back after high school, after graduation. I was at it every day. And I just remember it being a space to be able to get out my anger, get out any feelings, or even not feel in a sense at the gym, which might not have been the best approach of going about it. I also looked at my body a lot. I mean, that is the gym culture, is you look at how your body's progressed and how your body looks. And honestly, I think it can go so far as to be sexualized. So when you think about moms and working out, sometimes you're like, those two don't go, because of the way the culture kind of puts it out there for you. You can't be a sexy mom. Or it's like you can, and not really show your child that there's an appropriate balance within that. And so I think my husband and I, being gym rats, being ex-gym rats, but still have the love for it, are trying to find a way to enter back into that, but not within the world. It's kind of scary, kind of crazy, but that's how I would have looked at it before then. And yeah, it was just a hobby like any other. I was able to go at night, in the morning, whenever I felt like it. And it was kind of all over the place. I was not disciplined. I didn't have a set time, a set day. Depending on my college schedule, I would go in the mornings, but then my eating would be off. Sometimes I would eat in the mornings. I think it was as consistent as like a week. Now, again, this is different for everybody. This is my own journey with working out. And so, therefore, I am discussing that. Moving on to during pregnancy, I think This is where I felt the most active within pregnancy. If you haven't gone through pregnancy, it's crazy. It's beautiful. I would imagine a weight. Like, if you're into the gym right now, never been pregnant, imagine a medicine ball or, I don't know. There's nothing compared to actually, being able to feel that weight. But imagine having a medicine ball, carrying it everywhere with you. So there's an actual weight. So I leaned more towards body weight when before I was into weightlifting, dumbbells, the stairs, everything I could get my hands on. Did not like running. Point that out. So during pregnancy, loved to take walks. That was very healthy, very productive. I got sunlight, wasn't sitting around, lounging around the whole time. And therefore, I would have morning walks with my husband. And so during pregnancy, I looked to see what were good workouts to the point where I wouldn't strain myself. And that was kind of hard because everybody's opinions are different and everybody's bodies are different. I think the gym isn't a one fits all, or working out isn't a one fits all. Please keep that in mind because, again, I've been in that gym culture. I've wanted to fit the mold of trying to be that sexy influencer, and it just wasn't my thing. Now, probably back then, maybe, but I let it go, and now we're here. And so pregnancy brought on new challenges, and I used my body more for weights than anything. I didn't feel comfortable doing actual weights. If there can be accidents already before pregnancy or not being pregnant, I can't wrap my mind around the very fact that you try lifting more, there can be an accident. And it happens. But it's, again, everyone's personal preference. This is my approach of it. And so, morning walks, big thing. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Curb walks, if you haven't heard of that, there's, the parking spaces. There's sometimes that little, line type block. I don't know how else to describe it. And you just put one foot on top of the block and then one's unleveled. So you're kind of unleveled, but you would go and do each side that way. And so it just helped the baby position a certain way. And any type of stretching and body weight I would do. I also used, I forget what it's called, the ball that you bounce on. It's like a yoga ball, I guess. I don't know what the technical term is. I would use that as my weight. It's air in a ball. So therefore, that was my weight. I would just lift it up and go back down. Lift it up, go back down. Do wall sits with it. Put my back against the wall with it. Just different workouts like that I found really comforting. I felt the workout and I was staying in shape for, preparing for labor. And I think that there's a big focus on that, of preparing for labor. And so if you're not active, that is the definite time to be active, because when you go into labor, it's definitely not, you just lounge around. I have heard stories that some women are blessed in that sense, but most of the time that's not the case, especially if you have had an unmedicated birth. That's all I can speak on because I only have one child, and that's what I did. I didn't have a C-section or any of that sort. So again, working out depends on each woman, their body type, what they're going through throughout that pregnancy, and what your medical prescriber, midwife, doula, whatever they tell you. is appropriate for that time period. Again, not professional help right now, but what helped me was doing these workouts. And so, leading up to now, being a mom, I did not work out. I did not work out in postpartum like I maybe should have. Honestly, going back and thinking about it, I didn't have the mental capacity to do that. If you feel me with that, yeah, just I did not have the mental capacity for that. I was getting to know a little baby. I was learning how to breastfeed. I was recovering, and I was reading a lot before I gave birth about how resting is very, very essential. Now, I think I took resting to an extent, like a big extent. I had different circumstance, but I think I overdid my resting. I think I was scared to move out of my bed because of how painful it was those first days of postpartum to move and go to the restroom and things of that sort. So, of course, I'm not going to want to work out. And so now, a year later, with my daughter, I've picked up workouts maybe when she hit about 7 to 8 months, here and there. Again, not consistent, but I'm really, really trying to jump on that train again. Here comes the fall, so I'm hoping to be able to go for walks when it's getting cooler. I really want to do morning runs. I've actually seen that transition from before being pregnant to now in the state of motherhood. I enjoy running. Don't know why, don't know what changed. I don't know if it's just mindset thing that changed for me, but I do. I enjoy it, and I would love to do it more. So keep me accountable on that. As of weightlifting, I don't see that happening anytime soon for me, unless we begin a home gym, which is just not possible right now. So my weight is my baby. As many of you've seen probably examples of women using their babies as weights, lifting and squatting, to an appropriate matter. Our babies love it because we have time with them and they're enjoying it. My husband and I recently, started our fitness up again in the sense of doing little workouts here and there at home. And so the other day, we did push-ups. We were like, all right, let's go. Like, we were just motivating each other in our baby's playroom just to do push-ups. No, nothing too extra, nothing too intense. It was just push-ups. So I did normal push-ups. I could work better on my form and things like that. And then I was like, all right, you go. I love motivating people at the gym. That was my go-to thing. And so did it. Baby was looking at us. She was like, this is different. This is interesting. And so I'm like, all right, you go, baby, you go. And so we put her on the floor to how we were doing it, kind of lifted her little bottom and started telling her 1, 2, 3, and then right after she would get back up, we started clapping. We were like, yeah, you go. And she would start clapping, and she was just getting pumped, and it was amazing to see that. And that's what makes me want to keep going. Yes, for the better version of myself, I need to work out. It is necessary for my mental. I know that is something that impacts my mental in the most positive way possible. But also to see that my baby copied it right off the bat of wanting to do it. So every day since then, she'll get on the floor, position herself, and just start doing her version of push-ups. We'll just call it the ambi push-ups. She just lays on the floor, puts her hands in position, and kind of just raises her bottom. And then she'll clap after. And I know that means she did her push-ups. And so it's really that tad of transition to where that is my motivation. For my baby to see that mom is trying to be healthy and active, even if she can't comprehend that right now. And so I would say that I'm on a healthier journey now than I was when I first started at the gym, which was kind of for, I would say, selfish reasons. Even if there was a little bit of health tied into it, I think it was more on the selfish side of things of this is how I look, this is how people will look at me, and this is what will grab people's attention. And so that was more of the reasoning behind working out. And so now going into a better relationship of how to have that healthy mindset to being like, okay, why do I want to work out? Obvious reasons would be health, right? You gotta move your body in order to keep everything working as it should. If you're just laying around all day, your body's going to be miserable. And then, of course, being fit and being in shape is a key point, but I don't think it's that physical appearance I'm going after anymore. It's more of I get to be active around the house. I'm not getting as tired easily. During pregnancy, that happens for obvious reasons. Your body is shifting and you have a whole baby within you. And so the tiring really takes a toll in that sense. And so if I was able to do workouts when I had the baby within me, I can definitely do it now. But that doesn't go without saying you need to be patient with yourself. Everybody's journey is different. Some moms start during postpartum. Some moms I have seen, they start after postpartum. And some moms are just so scared to do it because it's a mind game type thing. It's like, okay, well, this would be one extra thing on top of already taking care of my children or already working, or there's just no time for it. But that's a limited blockage in your mind. You definitely can make the time if that is a priority in your life. And I'm one to speak. Again, I don't have a consistent workout scheduled in my life. I would like to start doing it, preferably in the mornings. So I think that is how I've seen my workout life going in the past. I was 17, I'm 25 now. I'm not really good at the math right off the top of my head. A couple years. It's been a couple years of a journey. But I've definitely noticed how when I go to work out, it's not for vain. It's not to show off. And to look at it that way is a real reality check for the very fact of everything else that comes first and is priority in your life. For me, it's family. How would I present myself if I was at the gym to where I can tell my daughter that's okay to do, and to respect the fact that I am married and I have my husband and I'm not tempting other men, and I'll get probably a lot of backlash on that comment. I would love to do another episode on modesty and gym works and things like that, but that's for another time. Right now, motherhood transition, be patient with yourself. There is not a time limit, but there is a starting day. When I say that, I mean, what are you doing today? Running around after the kids, that's a workout. But are you purposefully doing that, or is something pulling you to do that? There's a very, very big mind difference between the two. So I've noticed the difference. I hope that you are able to notice the difference. And the last two things I would say is start today and make sure to drink your water. I think water allows you to feel that freshness of, I'm ready to be active. I have switched to just straight water. I've never been a big soda person, but I'm challenging myself not to want anything else besides milk. I crave milk for some reason. Probably something I won't know why. But water and start today. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too intense for you. But I really do hope that it was a little bit of a reality call to be a better version of yourself within that physical component of your life, especially moms, which I know is so hard. And if you need accountability or you need help, we can start a little group. We can start accountability messages. I am so down for that. I need it. I love accountability. It is something that keeps me on my toes of like, hey, did you do this today? No, but thank you for reminding me. Or, yeah, I don't want to skip out on today because you'll know that I did. And then you won't be motivated. It's just a whole mind works game. So let me know. And I hope this episode was something you kind of wanted to experience in that little bit of a transition from where you used to be and where you're going. But yeah, I will see y'all next week, and I'll be praying for you.